I, 32 female, have a daughter, tween, with my ex-husband, 36. We divorced when she was a toddler. He then remarried with one of his coworkers. Let's call her Miranda. They also have a son together, a young grammar schooler. My daughter's birthday is in 9 days. I reviewed things for her birthday with her, like the theme and the cake. Here's the issue. She looked anxious when we went through the guest list. When I asked what was wrong, she said she didn't want to invite Miranda. I asked her why, and she explained that Miranda would sometimes make weird comments around other parents to her. For example, when Miranda picked her up from her dance lesson, she'd hear Miranda say things like, "This is why I prefer boys. Girls only like pink and tutus," calling her a brat and other things. She also told me that every time her brother, Miranda and ex-husband's kid, would do something to annoy her, like breaking her toys or calling her names or starting a fight, Miranda would always defend her son and punish her every time and say boys will be boys or some crap like that. I asked about her dad, and she said she does this when he's around, but he's always in his office, so it's like a free pass. Later I called her father. He asked for the party date. Her real birthday is a school day. I told him that his wife was not invited. I think I was on the loudspeaker because I heard Miranda screaming at me, saying that I had destroyed her family. So, am I the idiot for not inviting my ex-husband's wife to my daughter's birthday party because she told me not to? Edit. We divorced because my ex-husband told me that he was in love with Miranda and wanted to confess. We have a 50-50 custody. He has a busy job. My daughter explained to me that she never told me or her dad that she was scared of ruining her father's marriage because he seemed happy. Not the idiot. Ideally, you want everyone to get along and have your daughter and her half-sibling have a relationship. But you can't have that if your husband's wife is being verbally abusive to your daughter. Dad needs to intervene and insist his wife behaves and gets counseling to address her toxic jealousy of his daughter. Miranda screamed at me, saying that I destroyed her family. Lady, you're not part of my kid's family. That broad isn't stopping unless your ex stops her. So you're probably going to need an attorney eventually to sort this out in court because she can't be around someone who abuses her. Dad needs to step in or he'll risk ruining his relationship with his daughter. It sounds like it's already on that track anyway, but you need to get him to understand this, if only for your daughter's benefit. The stepmom doesn't like, love, or want your child in her life with her family. If you do the math on the timing, Dad already risked ruining things by cheating. The age gap between the kids and the divorce happened when the daughter was a toddler, so her stepmom was already pregnant. Miranda sounds like a nightmare and a misogynistic boy mom. It will only get worse for your daughter unless your ex steps in now and nips this issue in its early stages. She should not be invited into your daughter's life at all. You should discuss this with your ex-husband immediately. If he's unaware of this, he must know. If he knows and doesn't support your daughter, then he should change or get out of her life as well. This bullying will seriously traumatize her. Update number 1. Am I the idiot for not inviting my ex-husband's wife to my daughter's birthday party? So a lot happened. First of all, I met my ex for lunch alone. I explained everything that my daughter told me. At first, he was defensive and told me that she was overreacting. I replied that even if that were true, his relationship with his daughter was at risk. I gave him a choice, fix the problem or I'd go back to court for more custody. I talked to her in private on Friday when I came to pick my daughter up at his house. She told me that her dad had spent time with her, picking her up from school and activities, helping her with homework, and playing with her. Miranda then told me she accepted not attending the party, but still wanted to see my daughter blow out her candles on her actual birthday. She baked a cake and asked her, my daughter, if she was okay with doing it before leaving. She seemed okay with it, so we gathered around the cake, my daughter Miranda, ex, and half-brother. When my daughter blew out the candles, Miranda's junior decided that the good thing to do would be to smash my daughter's face into the cake. To be honest, if this was not a kid, I would be in prison. He and Miranda burst out laughing while my daughter was crying. Miranda then told her that she was being dramatic and emotional. We, Miranda ex and I, got into an argument, and to my surprise, my ex-husband was on my side, saying that it wasn't okay. While arguing, I noticed my daughter wasn't there. so I left to check on her. I helped her clean herself, and then we left for my house. I tried to cheer her up, but she was still sad. The party went well. Her dad came, and during the party, I told him that I wanted more custody because of his wife's bullying. So yeah, I'll update you if anything happens. Edit. My daughter's a really shy and silent kid. Except for me and her dad, she only talks if spoken to or if you bring up a subject that she likes. When something upsets her, she just stays silent and cries. It's always been like that, and it's what she does. She started crying and went to her room. OP, are you sure that the ex-husband's wife didn't egg on her kid, the half-sibling, to do this? Instead of apologizing profusely, she went on a verbal attack and said your daughter was overreacting? To me, this suggests that she wants to create a wedge between your daughter and your ex-husband's relationship, and it seems to be working. This whole "I want to see you blow out your candles" thing was a complete setup. If Miranda was genuinely sorry, she wouldn't have asked for that much from the child she'd bullied. This woman is definitely a narcissist. Don't know how low she'd stoop to get what she wants, to be honest. She's grooming her son to be another narcissist. I can't help feeling sorry for him too. He'll probably turn out to be a crappy excuse for a human being because he got stuck with her as a mother. Yeah, that's what I think. She pretended to be all sweet when then she and her brat attacked OP's daughter. Ex-husband better step up. OP may want to consult a lawyer about emergency custody and restraining orders. If the cake ceremony was being recorded on video, that, plus the stepmother's specific request to have this cake ceremony, plus the other statements from the daughter, should make it clear that the stepmother is an abuser and a threat to the daughter. Your ex-husband needs to put Miranda in her place and stand up for his daughter. Her rude and frankly cruel behavior is now risking his relationship with his daughter. You're right to protect your daughter from this beast and her horrible half-brother. Even after all these years, she's still jealous of you and your ex for having a child that's not hers. I don't know how you stayed out of jail because it would have been lights out for Miranda. Update number 2. Am I the idiot for not inviting my ex-husband's wife to my daughter's birthday party? After the cake incident, I asked my daughter questions about whether Miranda and her half-brother had ever laid hands on her, played such pranks on her, or behaved inappropriately. We never know. She told me no, explaining that the fights with her half-brother are mainly him annoying her. I also inquired if anyone else from both sides had made her uncomfortable in any way, and again she said no. Since my last post, she's been seeing her psychiatrist twice weekly. The bullying apparently started about 2 months ago. I don't know if it is related, although I'm sure it is, but it was around the time that Miranda had a pregnancy loss. I feel like I'm a terrible mom. I didn't see the signs. I'm trying to fix everything. Guess who showed up at my door at 10 p.m.? Ex called me last night. He was outside and said he wanted to talk. I let him in, and because I don't trust him, I really don't, I recorded the whole conversation with his consent. He told me he'd been thinking about what to do since the party. Yesterday, he told Miranda about my desire for more custody. From what he told me, she said it wasn't such a bad idea because my daughter wasn't fitting into their family dynamic. They started to argue, and at one point, she just started cursing me and my daughter. Apparently, I'm a sneaky witch who's bitter about her affair with my ex-husband. She described my daughter as a spoiled, bratty princess who needs correction. And now he has to choose between which woman he loves the most. This is where he had the click. He left the house, drove around, and then arrived at my place. He'll stay at a friend's house to think about his relationship with Miranda. Our daughter will stay with me during the week and visit him on the weekends. I told him that if he's going to get back together with Miranda, I'm continuing with full custody. But if they divorce, it'll depend on his custody of his son because I don't want him around my daughter either. He agreed. That's it. Thank you all for the support. First, I didn't know that my girlfriend was married. We met at an old school pickup joint in my city. On Thursdays, they offer free salsa lessons, and there are always a lot of women there. I'm from Colombia, so I go for fun. I live downtown, so we would just go to my place. I work out of town, so I don't need much. There wouldn't be room for 2 people there to live, but there's lots of room for other stuff. She said she lived with her sister and her sister's kids, so we never went to her place. She always took my calls and texted me back right away, so it didn't seem like she was trying to hide me. I learned from a friend that she's married and lives with her husband in a town just south of my city. We work in the same industry, and he works with a friend of mine. I've actually worked with him before. In my job, I work at different petrochemical extraction and refining plants. So over the course of my career, I've worked with thousands of guys. No exaggeration. He works in the head office now, so I guess she thought I would never run into him. I debated about it and contacted him. I apologized for it and proved I wasn't lying to mess with him or anything. Just screenshots of text and such. She called me screaming that I ruined her life, that she wasn't hurting me, that it wasn't my place to interfere. She blocked me after she ran herself down. My buddies all think I'm an idiot for getting involved. They think I should either continue doing what we were doing or break up with her and let her go on with her life. None of them think I should have contacted her husband. So, am I the idiot for telling my girlfriend's husband about us? Bro, you're a good person. Get better friends. Your current ones don't deserve to be called men at all. You did the very best thing you could have done. It was selfless, courageous, and morally correct. Well played, brother. Don't look back. You are not the idiot. She ruined her life, not you. That guy deserved to know. She ruined her life. Exactly. She's just upset because she has to face the consequences of her choices. It's a tough decision, but OP did the right thing. Sometimes the right thing is difficult, and sometimes selfish people will hate you for it, but it's the right decision. Dude, with your friend's response, how many of them do you think have or are cheating? You did the right thing. Your friends are trashy. Sure, you could continue with the hookup if that's all you ever want, but what if you want more? You'd be wasting all that time with a liar and a cheat. I, female 33, just had my birthday last week. The only problem is that no one in my family remembered. My maternal grandfather passed away about a month ago, and my entire family, mom, dad, and 2 younger brothers, flew back to my mother's home country for the funeral. Unfortunately, I couldn't go as I've only recently started a new job. I wasn't close to my grandfather, so I wasn't upset about staying behind. My family was gone for 22 days, and we FaceTime and stayed in constant communication during their trip. I think it's great that my mom got to reconnect with family, and my brothers got a chance to meet everyone. They returned last Wednesday and have been readjusting due to jet lag since then, understandably. My birthday was last Friday, 2 days after they got back. To be honest, I wasn't expecting more than birthday wishes from everyone, but the day passed without a word from anyone. Was I annoyed? Sure, but I wasn't too upset. I'm not the biggest birthday person. I had a nice birthday dinner with my boyfriend and a few friends. All heck broke loose Saturday afternoon when I got a really angry phone call from my dad. I guess my boyfriend did a special IG post for me, and my brother saw it and showed it to my parents. I had no idea he did this, as he isn't a big poster. Anyway, I could hear my mom crying in the background while my dad laid into me, saying that they were sorry they forgot, but that not saying anything and then posting about it online was passive-aggressive and mean. I told him I wasn't upset and didn't think a 33rd birthday was that big a deal anyway. He said a few more things before abruptly ending the call. I didn't hear from my family for the rest of the weekend. Today, Monday, I woke up to a bunch of notifications. I guess my mom did a Facebook post talking about ungrateful kids and how I ruined their surprise party for me and tagged me. My extended family seemed to agree that I was a jerk. I've tried calling my mom, but she didn't answer. So I posted my own reply and said, "You guys forgot, and no one wished me a happy birthday, unless you count Dad calling and yelling at me. Both my parents have been calling me all morning, but I don't want to take their calls yet. Am I the idiot?" Not the idiot. It's unfortunate but understandable that they may have forgotten, given having to deal with your grandfather's passing, though you'd have every right to feel upset about them forgetting too. But boy, are they idiots for trying to play the victim for their mistake and get everyone to blame you. If the truth of what they did shames them, they only have themselves to blame. You didn't call them out. You defended yourself from their lies and manipulations. Good for you, and happy belated birthday. Sweetie, there was no surprise party. They forgot. They were embarrassed. They tried to make you the bad guy. Your dad apologized for forgetting, but there was a surprise party in the works? Make it make sense. Your parents are foul for this. You need to take a big step back from your family. Their reaction to forgetting your birthday is unhinged. I, 28 male, work in a small office with a close-knit team. We all get along well, except for a borrowing habit of my coworker Lola, 30 female. Here's the issue. Lola constantly borrows my stuff. Staplers, highlighters, and even my lunch once, though she sheepishly replaced it. I get it. Small things happen. But it's become excessive. My stapler goes missing. I find it on her desk. I bring a new pack of pens. Half are gone by the end of the week. The other day, I brought in a specific coffee mug from my favorite band, a limited edition one. It wasn't dishwasher safe, so I hand washed it and left it on my desk to dry. I came back from a meeting, and it's gone. I see Lola using it at her desk. I calmly asked for it back, explaining that it was very special. She apologized and said she'd be careful, but I was firm. I told her I needed it back because it wasn't something I wanted to risk getting damaged. She got huffy, claiming I was being dramatic and that it was just a mug. I told her it wasn't just a mug to me and that repeatedly taking things without asking was inconsiderate. She stormed off and now everyone's giving me the silent treatment, implying I overreact. So am I the idiot for calling out Lola's borrowing habit? Especially over just a mug. So your coworker steals from you constantly. Start taking things from her desk or loudly ask for your items back. I mean, if everybody starts getting after you for that, tell someone else to fund her office work because she keeps taking mine. Or pay a little bit and get a bunch of engraved or printed pens stolen from the desk of OP's name. When she takes them, point out that can she please read the inscription? There's no point in marking the items. She doesn't care that they're identifiable as his. The mug was clearly his, and she doesn't deny taking his things. For some reason, she's concentrated on taking his things. Is his desk closest? Does she have a crush? Does she hate him? Does she get the biggest reaction from him? I'd silently go clean desk for a while and see what happens. Be super nice to everyone. Bring in cookies and put one on everyone's desk, including her, to show you're not treating her differently. Or act like an adult in the office. Report to HR or your manager, ombuds. She's not borrowing. This woman is a thief who gets pleasure and a sense of control by taking other people's belongings. She's doing it consciously and deliberately. Not the idiot. It's time to get it in writing. Send her a calm and factual email explaining that she's been borrowing your personal items and that this will no longer be acceptable to you. Escalate this to the supervisor level because it's affecting work relationships and the work environment, and CC your boss also. It's extra insurance.